Sleep. Sleep sometimes is hard to come by. We talk about it pretty frequently. It's a phase thing for Braylee, for sure. We went through, 2 to 3 weeks of great sleep the day that she goes back to school. Today, she woke up at around the 2 a.m. area and she was ready to go. We're not sure how this is the aftermath of last night. One could say Braylee had a glitter party. It's literally spread throughout the whole house. That's okay. Apparently she had a good time. And that's what matters, right? Nothing the vacuum can't pick up. At least it's like bigger chunk glitters. Bigger chunk glitters is so much better. I've talked in the past about collecting data for Braylee's sleep just to figure out why she's not sleeping. Maybe figure out like strategies to help her sleep better at night, you know? The more data you have, the more information you have, the more choices you can make, right? We brought up our sleep struggles with one of Braylee's therapists. They recommended this awesome device that we decided to get immediately just to see how she is sleeping. There's the option of the activity trackers, the kids' Fitbits or something like that, but Braylee will not wear them. She'll wear them maybe for a minute or two, and then she'll take it off. After she falls asleep, we've tried seeing if she'll wear a watch while she's sleeping. She wakes up and takes it off, so she's not big on the watches. As much as she loves her accessories, watches are not the thing. So we got something recommended called Withings. It's a under mattress sleep detector thing. It tracks her sleep. It tracks everything from heart rate, breathing rate, restlessness, like when she tosses and turns, when she goes to sleep, how long it takes for her to fall asleep, when she wakes up. By the way, this is not sponsored. It pretty much tracks everything. Interruptions, deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep. Apparently pretty accurately. There's some days where it just doesn't read right. I think it's because it's the days where she sleeps on the other side of the bed or something. Most of the time, the tracker does very well. Let's pull up the app real quick and see how she did last night. Comes with an app. Let's take a look at her sleep last night. 5 hours, 47 minutes of sleep last night. Sounds about right. It's really cool. It gives all the cool information. I'm going to actually set it up on the screen so it's easy for you guys to see. Put my face over here. So you have the hours slept, 5 hours, 47 minutes, the time she fell asleep, and the time that she woke up. The deep sleep is that dark blue. The light sleep is the light blue. The REM sleep is the light blue, or teal, you might say. Her sleep score, pretty low today, 44. So I look into depth. It tells me exactly how many minutes where she was in each sleep cycle. You have interruptions, which interruptions is when she tosses and turns and wakes up. It looks like she didn't have any of those last night. Time to fall asleep, 38 minutes. Apparently, 20 minutes or less is ideal. I did not know that until I had this app. Regularity is bedtime to wake up time. As you can see, her bedtime, it varies, this is based on her fall asleep time. It varies. It's interesting starting to see this data over time. We've had this device for a couple months now, so we're actually starting to see some trends and stuff. Time to get up, that's an interesting one. 6 minutes is average. Braylee took 24 minutes. That means she woke up and tossed and turned in there for 24 minutes before deciding, I'm going to just get out of bed and get on with the day. Then we have heart rate, which it shows heart rate throughout the night. I don't understand it completely. I'm not a health professional, but I'm able to share this information with her doctors. There's a button you can click to share it, which is awesome. It does track snoring, which she does not. I have not even had a thing where it says she's been snoring. But yeah, there's so much good information on this app. This is probably one of the coolest technologies. This is pretty cool technology. There's even a spot for notes. Look at that. This is I want to start using the notes for maybe recording what she ate for the day, or was it tough going to, was she crying going to sleep or something, or did she have a meltdown that day? Stuff like that, just something to record data for health professionals. You have the week, which it's Monday. Then you have the month here. So generally, she has been sleeping pretty well. Wednesdays seems to be the bad days. The red is the really tough days. The orange is the not so good days. So if you see this whole last week was fantastic. Every single night she slept well. The week before that, 4 out of the 7 days was not so great. As you can see, like some weeks are great, some weeks are bad. Sometimes it's like 2 out of 3 days in a row that aren't so good. There's a lot of good info on this app. It'll help us hopefully understand Braylee's sleep patterns more, and it's also great to be able to share that with her doctor. Especially, I mean, we have a sleep study coming up in about a month. They might see this information as useful when we go for that appointment. We also have a developmental pediatrician appointment later this week, and we're probably going to share that information with them too. It's just really good data. Remember my video from years ago? Maybe not years ago, maybe a year or two ago. Remember that video where I was sitting down too long. Where I was collecting all this data manually with the motion sensor baby monitor type camera. And yeah, don't need to do that when you just spend about $100. Such a time saver. If that item is something that you maybe were looking for, I'll leave a link for it down below. We know people that have kids that are much older than Braylee that continually have sleep issues. No matter what they've tried, no matter what they worked on, it's just gonna happen. And I think we've gotten to the point where, like, you know what? It is just gonna happen. There may not be any solutions. It's just what it is. I mean, I have also learned in this process that some people don't need as much sleep. Some people don't need the regular 7 to 8 hours a night. They can function on 5 hours when it happens. Braylee sure seems like she can. She has some of her best days of school after less sleep. And sometimes her more sleep, she has her not so great days. So what it comes down to is me and Stacy just need to figure out our own schedules to make sure that we're well rested for Braylee as well, around Braylee's sleep. We just have to figure that out. It's on us to figure it out. It's not on Braylee to figure it out. So Braylee's fine. She's doing great. She's a boss. Last night, I was pretty much finishing up work when she was waking up. And therefore, sleep's just not going to happen. Because I want Stacy to be able to sleep too, you know. What ended up happening, Stacy ended up getting up with Braylee, and I ended up going to sleep. It's just something we figure out, something that we work around for, 9 years now? There's a period of time where this type of sleep happened every single night. Every night. There was that period. That was pre-medications. She did not sleep hardly at all. The medications definitely do help, not consistently. And we'll see what Stacey has to say about it all too. We made it down to the evening, but we're talking about sleep today, so it just makes sense to start recording right after Braylee goes to sleep to talk about more sleep stuff.
I feel like in some capacity we always come back to sleep. It just comes and goes in phases, and I think more than anything, it's just kind of adjusting to Braylee's schedule, whatever it is at the time. So if we know she's not sleeping well, maybe we need to not stay up too late so that we're not tired the next day as well. And we're very fortunate that we can nap during the day to kind of catch up on those days when she's not sleeping. I mean, you have to think about it. In life, people have all different sleep schedules. You and I have completely different sleep schedules. And some people are morning people, some people are night people, some people need a full night's rest to function at all, some people function on very little sleep. I feel like from everything I've seen and heard, it's very common, you know, with autistic people to just require less sleep. Just keeping that in mind and moderating what we're doing and maybe making some of our daytime our downtime. Like typically when Braylee's going to bed or after she goes to bed, I'll take that time to fold the laundry. David will do dishes, that sort of stuff. And maybe just trying to switch our schedules around to accommodate us getting to bed so that we can be awake in those instances for her.
Everybody sleeps differently. There's still a line. If she doesn't get enough sleep, it still can cause some disruptions in her day. Mm-hmm. And we have noticed that there's somewhere in between 5 hours and 10 hours is good for her. We just don't know where that is.
And I think it varies too.
If she doesn't get enough sleep, then she's a little more irritable. She gets cranky quickly.
Me too.
She doesn't retain as much information.
She's slow moving, you know, and hard to motivate as well.
And even when it comes to academics or therapy and stuff like that, she doesn't catch on to things as quickly. Yeah. And so sleep, I'm not saying that less sleep is great. for her or anything like that. I'm not saying that less sleep is great. I'm not saying that it's okay that she has a terrible sleep schedule. It's something that we expect and that we may have to work around sometimes because it's just such a common thing.
And the thing is that no matter what we do, we can't force Braylee to sleep. And there's only so much we can do trying to help her find her balance and what is right for her.
And I know that a question is going to come up. Do you do a routine? Do you keep the same schedule every day? We've done all these things. Do you like the screen time? There's
eating after a certain time.
Yeah, there's so many things that go into healthy sleep. And yes, we've been through all those things. I know that's going to be questions that do come up, but I just want to throw that out there. We're going to have a lot of
suggestions, I'm sure, as well. We do what we can and what works for her.
We're okay, too. We are okay. It's just something that comes up. Wake up tomorrow and we're still going to do our best to have a good day. That's our sleep talk for the day.
It just is what it is. This sleepy guy.
This guy over here gets all the sleep in the world.
Enough for the whole house.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna cover his face.
He's like, don't show my sleepy face. Speaking of sleeping, I am gonna sleep in my igloo soon. Not yet.
Good luck to you.
I'm preparing myself mentally.
I'm gonna have the whole bed to myself.
It's like a bucket list item. Spend a night in the igloo.
In the middle of the night, do not come in with your frozen limbs and put them... Does anybody else's spouse do that? David comes in every time he's like freezing cold, whether it's from working in the office, whatever. He comes in freezing cold and he has to put all of his hands and feet like on me and make me cold. He goes, "You're so warm." I'm like, well, yeah, I was sleeping and I got woken up to like when you put ice on somebody's back. That's what it feels like. That's just my pet peeve, being woken up to freezing limbs when you are nice and toasty, and then it like steals your warmth.
Who's with me? Like
the heat stealers.
Who's with me? Like, it's so cold. You're all alone. You've been, I don't know, working away or driving home.
You're gonna play the victim and make me look like the bad guy. You're so alone, and you just want some physical touch for your love language or whatever.
Or I just got done working outside or taking a nap in an igloo or something. And I'm just so cold and you have the ability to warm me up. You alone have that ability to warm me up.
I alone?
I finished the igloo. The weeglue's done. Look at that. I am planning on staying a night in there. I don't know what night yet, but it's my plan. I have plans. Legitimate question. Not that we're doing this. Legitimate question. If that was an Airbnb, would you stay in it? Not that we're not making that an Airbnb. We're not. But just curiosity.